Hello, pound number one. Welcome to Hollywood Oracle. I'm Antonio, your reader. Now let's get into this. So, uh, people are talking. What are they saying? Pound number one. This is that 4th of July barbecue schmack talk. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know your family was talking shit while you was over there eating your hot dog. Anyway, let's get into it. Pile number one. Okay. Let's see. What are people saying about you at the barbecue? With the rest card here in the reverse, you chose pile number one. You chose the rest card here in the reverse. So yeah, I feel like people are saying like you need to lay down. You tired. Okay. Maybe it just sounds like if you're like describing all the things that you've been up to lately, like all the things you kind of have in the works, people are kind of saying you're not getting enough rest. Either you could look like this, right? Like you're not getting enough rest, or they just assume that you're not getting enough rest because of how many projects you kind of have, going on right now, right? And when I say projects, I mean, it's just everyday life stuff, the stuff you got to do, get done, whatever the case is, right? So you're not resting enough, right? Also, what's being said is it's a surprise. Yeah, I feel like I do feel this surprise where it's like people are surprised because I feel like, how to explain this? Like you've come a long way, but in a short period of time, right? Where it's like, well, literally your next card is time, but I feel like it's just like you're kind of in this moment where like the wheel is kind of turning for you. So like things are going in your favor, right? Like things are connecting for you and people could be noticing that. So it's like they feel like almost like you're favored, right? But it's really just like the wheel's in your favor in this turnaround, right? So it's like, yes, you're receiving everything that you should be, or it's just like the fruits of your labor are being received, right? We do have the time card here. Yes. So I do feel like people are saying how you're making the most of your time, right? Whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're dealing with, right? You're making you're prioritizing your time efficiently. Okay. File number one, right? That's what you're doing, right? And that's kind of what I was saying too, where it's like you could have made a lot of like giant leaps as far as like career goes or life goes or whatever the case is in a short amount of time. Okay. We do have the children card here, and that's in the reverse. With the children card here in the reverse, yeah, I feel like what's being said is like you're no longer in this like childhood energy. I feel like how to explain this? I'm not saying that you were immature, pound number one, but what I'm saying is like no one's looking at you as immature anymore. Okay, like you are a fully, grown adult, right? That makes grown adult ass decisions. Okay, like I just feel like and this. I feel like what's being said is from like the older people, right? Aunts, uncles, grandmas, and so on and so forth, right? They're just saying like how they've watched you grow throughout the years. Right. And they've seen you as children, but it's like they can't look at you as children anymore. Right. Because of all the achievements that you have acquired, in your time of growing up. Right. Like, you ain't a child no more. You know what I mean? And which, my daughter, she's still young, but, she's got her own little attitude and everything now. So I still call her my baby, but she's like, Dad, I'm not your baby anymore. I'm your big girl. I'm your big girl, right? I'm like, girl, shut up. You're my baby. We have the egocentric card here in the upright. Okay, so what's also being said is, yeah, I feel like what's being said is like you're more in tune with what you have going on than what like kind of is going on around you, right? Because if you look, we do have the newspaper and it says like Martians are attacking, right? And it's New York Post, like it's everywhere. So it's like you're not really looking or watching out for what anyone else has going on. You're more focused on yourself. Okay. So egocentric. I don't really feel like this pertains to your ego. I'm not really getting like a narcissistic type of energy or anything like that, but I'm just getting like it's just you hold yourself to a higher standard, right? And that's how you've achieved all of this that you have anyways. We do have the depressed card here in the reverse. So either people saw you come out of some type of depression, or they just feel like you're in this energy where it's like, I almost feel like they feel like you have no worries, right? Like everything's working out for you, So if you are depressed or you are feeling down, they're like, how could you when you have like the world at your fingertips? Essentially, is how people are, talking about you, right? We have the Mask card here in the reverse. Yeah, so I do feel like people are saying like what's being said, is you've I don't want to say you've taken off this mask, but it's just like you're acting more on like your authentic self. Like what you're seeing is exactly what you're getting. Okay, so there is nothing aloof, over here. There's nothing to hide. And I feel like when people talk to you, they're seeing this in the conversation where it's like you're just being you. You're being like they're like almost to the point where like you're not even like white lying if you unsure what that means, where it's like you're like there's truth in your lie, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Where people are just seeing you in this like just full like unmasked, like you ever seen somebody without makeup as opposed to like always seeing them with makeup on, you know what I mean? And then you see them for the first time without, and it's like you see how drastically different a person can look or change. I feel like this is kind of it, right? Like these people are seeing you unmasked, right? Like just the raw, like this is what you get, no makeup, no filter, We have the gifts card here in the upright. With the gifts card here, this is kind of what I was talking about when I said like the wheel is in your favor currently, because the world is, spirit, God, universe, whatever it is you believe in, right, is listening and it is providing. Like this is your time. So I do feel like if you're manifesting, right, at this point in time, make sure you're ready for whatever you're manifesting, because I do feel like the wheel is in your favor right now. So it's like those manifestations are going to be coming in for you. And if you're not ready for the thing that you manifest, you might, what's the word? Like confuse spirit, God, universe, whatever it is, right? You're asking like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then, spirit, God, universe gives it to you. And we're like, well, I wanted it, just not right now. You know what I mean? So I just say, just word of caution, right? Be careful. Okay. Manifest what you need exactly in this moment, okay? We do have the realization card here in the upright. With the realization, yeah, this is what people are realizing, right? Like, I feel like they're realizing, how much... I feel like this, again, goes back to time, right? They're realizing how you spent your time and how they spent their time. Like what you did with that time and what they did with that time. It's coming to this realization, and this realization card is right next to this egocentric card, right? So it's just saying like they're realizing that you holding yourself to a higher standard, treating yourself like royalty has brought in these things in your life, right? Like it's not and I feel like, again, this is why this mask card is so important, is because it's not a mask. Like this is you, you know what I mean? This is you holding, like essentially practicing what you preach. Okay, pile number one. So they're having that realization, like, damn, if I would have did what pile number one did, I would be in the same, shoes or situation. Okay, and we have the unstable card. So I do feel like you have some people, in their head, a little unstable, about like how much progression that you've made, pile number one here. Okay. So it's kind of the talk about you, where it's like some people can't even wrap their head around, like from the last time that they saw you as opposed to this time that they're seeing you, right? Like how much progression has happened. And I feel like some people, again, just can't wrap their minds around it, or it's causing them to go into this like kind of unstable mindset where it's like, well, damn, I got to get, my stuff together. I got to get on, I got to start doing what I need to do so I can be in that same position as pile number one. Okay, we have the threat card in reverse. Yeah. So what's the talk? Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing like two things, right? So what people are saying, right? What they be saying uh, is they don't necessarily see you as a threat, but I don't feel. Oh, I should turn that fan off completely. Um, sorry. Like blanked out there for a second. But should turn that fan off. Completely forgot that was on. Anyways, so hopefully you guys can read me. I've been talking loud enough, or hear me. I've been talking loud enough. I feel like they don't see you as a threat, pound number one, but it's not like in a threat in a bad way, if that makes sense, right? Where it's like you need to be intimidating. I just feel like they're seeing you in this light, right? And what they're talking about is like you don't, because like this is your authentic self, like you're not appearing as a threat to anyone. Like you're not trying to look better or perceive yourself to be better or whatever the case is. It's just like you're just here like everyone else. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to get your plate and move on. Like why you why you holding up the line? So that's kind of what I see. It's like, yeah, like you're not pressing anybody about their life decisions or choices. You're just being you, right? The most authentic way that you can. And they're not, they're just seeing you as kind of like a non-threatening person, like someone who's just like almost like you're not even gonna, like you wouldn't even start with them, right? If they wanted to start something, you wouldn't even start with them. Okay. We have the clairaudience card. Okay, so I do feel like what's being said about you is like I feel like a good listener. So there's probably a lot of people who are talking your ear off, or there's people who just don't know when the conversation is over and they just keep keep going. That's kind of how I feel right here, right? Where it's like people notice that it's like when they talk, you actually listen, right? There's a lot of people who are like, you're talking to them and it's like they're on their phone, they're doing this, they're doing that, and you know that you don't have like their full attention. I feel like when people talk to you though, pound number one, like they have your full attention, okay? For the most part. We do have the date card here in the upright. So I got two things from this date card here in the upright. When when it came out of the deck, it landed sideways, and I'm just like constantly like flipping it, trying to get it to land one way or the other, but it really just kept landing sideways. So I'm going to give this in two ways, where it's like either so I'm seeing this in two ways. People want to date you. Okay. People want to date you. Okay, now it's weird if it's coming from a family standpoint, but maybe they got some friends that came along, you know what I mean? Or it's just like that's kind of like the talk that's being said. Like you would be a very, like reliable option, or a very, like you're one of the best options out there to date, if somebody was looking. But then I also, in the reverse, if this card was in the reverse, I would say you're not looking to date currently at this time. So take how it resonates for you. Okay, we do have the Temptations card bottom of the deck. So with this Temptations card, yeah, I just see like you are a lot of people's temptation, right? And when I say temptation, I don't always mean like sexually. I'm also saying like temptations in the form of like temptations to grow, temptations to get their money up, temptation to, exceed further than where they are at, or this could very well like, be in a sexual way where it's just, you're tempting, right? Because you got kind of everything going for you. Maybe even, I don't want to say you dress like the ladies in this card, but, maybe you dress yourself nicely. Okay. Which works out for your body type or whatever the case is. Okay. Some advice messages here from Spirit Guide Universe, whatever it is you believe in. We have no whining, and that's the first card up. No whining, and that's in the reverse, okay? I feel like Spirit Guide Universe on this one. On this one is just saying, like, look, if you find yourself in this energy, right, like, especially like this unstable energy, because I feel like you do have a lot of things like on track, or, you just keep up with things a lot. Sometimes it can cause you to go a little bit insane, or overthink things, right? Where it's like or maybe like you get too used to a routine, and then it's like you need to shake it up because it's driving you insane, right? Spirit Guide Universe saying it's okay to vent. It's okay to talk about it. You know, actually talking about it might find someone who actually is going through something similar, and then now you guys are going out to get those drinks or, you know, checking out movies or whatever the case is, okay? We do have the Be Aware of Your Surroundings card, but that's in the reverse, so that's great to see. And look, it's in that same row that we were talking about: time, the mask card in the reverse, and the threat card in the reverse. So be aware of your surroundings in the reverse is kind of telling me that, like, it's almost like everyone likes you, right? Everyone likes you, or at least has some form of respect for you. Therefore, they're going to leave you alone, right? No one's going to mess with you. So you don't have to be aware of your surroundings, because I feel like you're kind of like the... you're the boss's son, right? You know, like you're using that card essentially, pound number one, where it's like you're untouchable because of how everyone views you. Okay. I don't want it, and it's here in the upright. Okay. I don't want it. Now, this is in that row with the gifts card that I was saying, where, like, be careful what you're manifesting, because I do feel like it's in that period of where gifts are going to start coming to you. So with the I don't want it, I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, I feel like, again, this is just a warning, right? And saying, like, be careful what you're manifesting at this point in time, because it's going to be coming in for you if it hasn't already, or you're already in that season of Spirit Guide Universe giving you what it is that you wanted. But it's like, if they're giving it to you and you're saying, I don't want it, right? You're confusing Spirit Guide Universe. And now they're like, oh, okay, they don't want that, so let me give them, you know, the opposite or the adjacent of this, or whatever the case is, right? So, like, again, like I said, just be careful with that. Okay, because look, guys, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't make this shit up. We have the gifts card, but we also have the clear audience card, and then the I don't want it. So if you look at this, right, like kind of how like Spirit Guide Universe would look at it, we have the gifts card where it's like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, look, it's your turn to receive the fortune, right? Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So I'm going to give you here the things that you've been asking for, because I'm listening right now. Like, you have Spirit Guide Universe's ear at this current moment in time, right? And then it's like, I'm giving you the stuff you're asking for, but now you're telling me you don't want it, right? Like, you asked for this raise, and now I put you, you know, in a new position that gives you a raise, but it's like, you don't want to do the work for the position to require that, you know, to get the raise. You know what I mean? So it's like, what did you really want? You know what I mean? Things like that, and just. So like I said, just be careful what you're manifesting here, kind of. We have the only one way forward, and that's in the reverse. Yeah, so I do feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying, like, I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, there's more than one way to go about what you're doing, right? I feel like for those of you who fall kind of in that routine, Spirit Guide Universe is saying there's more than one way to, like, keep track of everything, but also enjoy life, right? And I can say, you know, I'm a part of that as well, where it's like I constantly probably prioritize work over more so relaxation and having fun, right? I mean, trust me, I'm usually always working in some way, some form. You know, whether it's actual work stuff or this, but so I just feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, the mindset that maybe you have when it comes to keeping things in track and getting things done. Yes, it works for you, but there might be an easier way, or a way that allows you to enjoy more of your time. Okay, so I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, look, there's more than one way forward, with the only one way forward and being in the reverse. And then we have protected, right? Spirit Guide Universe saying they're watching over you. You're protected anyways. So it's like, look, bottom of the deck says take a risk, and it's in the reverse. So I was just going to say take a risk. You're protected anyways, right? So Spirit Guide Universe is saying take the risk. And that risk could be dating, because if you look at this card upright, right, these two, whoa, don't want to say that. Technically, in this scene, he's sharing his whistle with her. But, you know, maybe you're not ready for that step, or maybe you're ready for that step, but you're too afraid to approach. Whatever the case is, I just feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying you're protected, so get out there, have some fun, right? That has been your read, pal number one. Thanks for tuning in to Hollywood Oracle, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
The white zone.
When I'm calling you,
Hello, pound number 2. Welcome to Hollywood Oracle. I'm Antonio, your reader. And let's get into this. So this is what people saying about you after the barbecue, okay? So first off, happy 4th, right? Now, because I'm dropping one here on the 4th, I won't be dropping one tomorrow. So don't be looking for it, okay? Don't be looking for it. Anyways, we have the news card here in the reverse, all right? Yeah, squeeze it in there. Don't mess up my little man's, okay? My man's in there. So, sorry guys. I get distracted sometimes. Anyways, we have the news card here in the reverse. With the news card in the reverse, here's what I'm getting, right? Here's what I'm picking up. Here's what they're putting down. Here's what the juice is. Why they're squeezing, okay? With the... with the news, I feel like you're not sharing much, right? That's what people are talking about, right? Like I feel like people know, right, by appearances that something new has happened in your life, right? And when I say new, I mean this could literally be anything, okay? Anything new that happened in your life, right? But you're just not talking about it. Let's say like you pull up with a new car, but you ain't talking about it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like people want to talk about your new car, but you ain't said nothing about it, you know? I'm kind of getting that kind of energy where it's like, it's apparent something's new about you, but we not talking about it, or you're not talking about it at least, right? You got some news. We have the reasoning card here in the reverse. So what's being said about you, pod number 2, okay, what they be saying is, I feel like they're saying like you can't be reasoned with, right? And when I say you can't be reasoned with, I'm getting more so like you can't be, what's the word? It's not about reasoning with you. It's more, I feel like you can't be persuaded more so than reasoning, right? Like it's like your mind is made up on whatever it's made up on, okay? Whatever you have committed yourself to, right? You can't be swayed from that. Okay, and no amount of talking is going to get you to do so. We do have the temptations card here in the reverse as well. So I do feel like, you know, what's being said about you, pound number 2, is like, yeah, you're not falling for your temptations. You're not giving into any type of temptations. Like, I feel like even if people are trying to like, what's the word? Bribe you. There we go. Even if people are like trying to bribe you or whatever, get stuff out of you, I feel like you're just not falling for it. Okay. I do feel like there's a very like shut down type of energy where it's like, you will only know what I tell you, you know, and if we don't resonate, we don't resonate, you know. We have the realization card and it's in the reverse. So yeah, you know, what's being said about you is, yeah, I feel like, you know, what's being said is just like, well, I feel like, look, I don't even know if this deck does have a mystery card, but I kind of getting this energy about it with the realization card in the reverse is like, yeah, there's a mysterious type of like vibe where it's like people just they don't really know how to explain it. You ever heard the expression like can't quite put my thumb on it? Like this is what you're giving, right? Like I feel like people have like a good idea of kind of like what's going on with you as far as like personal life and XYZ, but it's like they don't really know, right? We do have the grace card and that's in the reverse here. So the kind of talk is on you is like you now, how to explain this? I'm getting kind of 2 things here. So take how it resonates for you. But I'm getting one, either you showed up, right, to the barbecue, you know, and I don't want to say slob. You know what I mean? I'm not getting slob, okay? It's just like comfortable clothes. You know what I mean? Like you ain't here dressing for nobody. You know, you know, but I also see this in the reverse where, you know, you also dressed very, very nice, but it ain't for nobody, it's for yourself. So take how it resonates for you, pound number 2. But that's kind of what's being said about you, where it's like, yeah, you did all this for you. Ain't none of it for anybody else. You know, if you wearing comfy clothes or you dressed up to a T, all of it was for you, right? And maybe you're a believer in that saying it. I know I am, right? It's like when you dress better, you feel better, right? Like for me, like when I, when I dress in nicer clothing, I feel better. So, this could also be kind of like what's being said about you. And when I say nicer clothing, right, I don't really like say like 3-piece suits and whatever that case is. It's just something that looks nice on you, right? Something that complements you, your skin tone, your eyes, your hair, whatever the case is, right? It's just like you're put together nicely. We do have the peace card here in the upright. So I feel like what's being said about you is like people want peace with you, right? Now you might be beefing with some of the family members, and it's like I see this card as like the family members or whatever, distant cousins, whatever you want to call them, right? I'm not judging, but like they want to shake your hand. They're reaching out here to shake your hand to make the peace, and you're just kind of looking at their hand like, what's there? What's that? Oh, you thought we was cool, Like, no, we ain't cool. Matter of fact, don't let them bring out the water balloons. I'll bust you upside the head. We have the third party card in the reverse, okay? With the third party card, again, I'm getting that energy of like not letting people in, right? Nobody's getting in unless, they're on the list, essentially, right? Nobody's getting in unless you're on the list. Okay. So that's kind of been, what's being talked about is just like, yeah, there aren't any third parties, right? Like, I feel like it's almost to the point of like, how do I explain this? You have the people that you tell things to, you have the people that you don't tell things to. Like, how do I explain this? There's 3 groups. Okay. You have the people you tell things to, the people you don't tell things to, and then the people you tell things to who talk to each other, who try to figure out more, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, that's it. Like there is no like hanging in the balance or whatever the case is. It's almost like I don't have friends, I have associates, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it's given, where it's like, it's what's being said, right? Like you just like, if you're not in with pile number 2, then you're out. Okay. There is no in between. We have the news card here in the upright. Yeah. See, so what's being said again, is like, you have news to share. There are new things happening for you. And it's clear, it's out there, right? Whether or not you post it on the social media, you're walking around in, the new shoes, or you're driving the new car, whatever the case is, you posted pictures about your vacation, whatever it is, like people know something's different. It's apparent. But I feel like, again, it's something that you're not discussing, but you're only discussing with those few. Okay. We have the business card here in the upright. Now I'm getting 2 things when it comes to this business. Sorry, not in the upright, in the reverse. When this business card in the reverse, either it's like you're here not to discuss business, right? Because this is vacation, right? Or Independence Day, right? So it's like, we don't work on this day. Or I'm getting like, you're just, again, not letting anybody in your business. Nobody can know your business. Okay. Nobody can know your business. We have the clairaudient card, audience card. Okay, with this clairaudience card, what I'm getting is like what's being said. What they saying is, sorry. I feel like you're a spectator, right? Like you came to the barbecue, you fixed yourself a plate, you stayed, watched the fireworks, and you left. Okay, like you didn't really interact with anyone. You kind of kept to yourself, and you can see like how she's sitting, right? I mean, in this movie, in this scene, she's listening to the radio, but I do feel like that's how you was sitting over on that picnic bench by yourself. Like, I'm fine. Like, leave me alone. I'm over here having my little pop, my little soda, you know what I mean? And why are you bothering me? We have the channeling card in the reverse. Look, this whole row right here, temptations in reverse, third party in the reverse, and channeling in reverse. I feel like that's just screaming, like, leave me alone. Why are you over here bothering me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be out here, catch some sun, eat some food, have a couple of cervezas. We have the selfish card here in the upright, okay? With the selfish card here in the upright, yeah, what's being said about you is, yeah, you're selfish. So now here's the thing. We have the selfish card, right, where she's on her cell phone, literally, okay, on her cell phone. But then you have right below it the communication card. And what is he on as well? His phone. So maybe what's being said about you, pile number 2, is, yeah, I don't feel like you were being selfish. It's just you're, again, more aligned with yourself, right? Like you came, you made an appearance, but it's like you still kind of like kept your distance, and just really maintained in your own energy. And then again, with this communication card, I feel like it's just saying like either you could have been on your phone a lot during this event, or it's just like you were texting, talking to other people, like you were here, like you were physically here, but you weren't here, if that makes sense. You weren't interacting. I mean, because look, we have that clear audience card again, where she's just sitting there minding her own goddamn business. You know what I mean? Bottom of the deck, though, we do have the follow card here in the upright. Okay, with the follow card here in the upright, with the follow card here in the upright, I feel like what's being said is like either you have some type of following, right? Because either you have like some type of social media following, or it's just the fact that like people want to follow you. Okay, like I feel like you definitely give off this energy where it's like, how to explain it? Almost like people don't follow you because you're preaching follow you, but people follow you either because of your values, what you've attained in your life, or again, because you're doing something social media wise, right? Or it's just like they're hoping that following you will lead them to their own pot of gold, if that makes sense, okay? We do have some advice messages here from Spirit Guide Universe, whatever it is you believe in. We have be about your shit. Okay, that's in the reverse. I feel like what Spirit Guide Universe is saying is like, I feel like they're on your side, right? They're like, if somebody ain't trying to hear you out. Now, I said this to somebody earlier today. I'm not even gonna hold you. I said, like, I don't know what the person's question was. It was something. And they were saying, like, in an argument, would I defend, whatever it was? And I was like, oh, that's what it was. It was like, okay. They're like, if the person or whatever you had a child with didn't want your child to believe in Santa Claus, right? Would you be against that or for it? And I was like, me personally, I don't care. And I told her why. I said, because I pick my battles. And I don't want to waste winning a battle about Santa Claus, something I don't care about, over something I do care about. So I feel like this is kind of what Spirit Guide Universe is just saying. Like, you were here, you know what? You didn't disrespect nobody, right? You didn't disrespect nobody. Maybe they took it as disrespect because you didn't shake their hand or say hi to them or speak to them. But it's like, you didn't disrespect nobody. You didn't call nobody out their name. You came, you ate, you saw, you attended, and that's it. And so I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying is like, if that's all you wanted to do, fine, cool. That's all you had to do. You know what I mean? You ain't have to, and with the be about your, and in the upright, I feel like that's more so saying like you're requiring other people to be, similar to yourself. So I just feel like this is like, you know what? I came, I saw, I ate, and I left, right? That's all I came to do. I didn't come here to persuade anyone, change anybody's mind, talk political views, whatever the case is. We have okay to feel, and that's in the upright. Now, this is where it's funny. Okay to feel in the upright, pile number 2, is in that same row that we were discussing with the Temptations card in the reverse, the third party card in the reverse, and the channeling card in the reverse, right? All saying like this closed off energy that you had for this barbecue. But Spirit Guide Universe saying it's okay to feel. You know what I mean? Like, you might resonate with one of your family members or cousins, or hell, somebody's friend that they brought to the barbecue. And I say this all because, I'm actually really close with one of my cousins. one of my cousins, his name is Lamont. I'm not sure if you want me to say his name, but he's really awesome. And you know what? Until I actually had worked with him at a job, like me and him were never really that close, right? So it's like we got really close working that job. And, you know, I honestly think of him as like a brother now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Spirit Guided Universe is just encouraging you to say it's okay to feel, like, let people in, fill them out, you know, see if they resonate with you. And me and my, you know, cousin actually had a lot in common, a lot of the same views. So it's like we hit it off, you know. We have clean this up, and it's in the upright. We'll clean this up. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying, like, if there's any confusion, right? Because people have a lot, like, I feel like people were having like kind of like a hard time connecting dots, or there's just like a lot of confusion. They don't really know, you know, the process or how to confront something with you or bring it up with you or whatever the case is. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, go ahead and reach out and let these people know, right? Like, answer some questions to maybe just clear some of the important things up. I'm not saying you got to like spread your whole life, pal number 2, but it's like, if people, you know, just want to know, like, if you're married to somebody, or, you know, like just something, information that's not really going to change your life, but it gives them enough to, you know, connect the whatever dots that they need. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying, clean this up, right? Like, clean it up. Like, don't let nobody speak on nothing they don't know about you. And if they are going around talking about the wrong shit, go ahead and let them know. You know what I mean? Like, clear it up. Like, actually, you know, actually, this is not the recipe to mac and cheese. We have you stupid, okay? In the upright. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying, you stupid, but it only pertains to this business card. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, especially if you're trying to grow something, networking can also be done through family, right? That's how a lot of these like major super rich families do it anyways. They all network with each other. Like, so-and-so does this business, so-and-so does that business, and they all do business with each other, and they're all just sharing the wealth, you know? So I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, you know, don't be afraid to, you know, within reason, right? To open up a little bit more, especially about business, and you know, communicate more. We have bottom of the deck, no whining, and that's in the reverse. So I do feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying, like, you know what? If you need a drink after the barbecue, go ahead and have that drink, okay? You deserved it. Because there probably was a lot of like weird energies around anyways, you know, or maybe you're just picking up on a lot of people's energies that caused you to be anxious or have anxiety, whatever the case is, okay? Go through the motions. This has been your read, pal number 2. Thank you for tuning into Hollywood Oracle, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
The white
When I'm calling you,
Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to Hollywood Oracle. I'm Antonio, your reader. Let's get into this. So this is, oh my goodness, what was that? What was the title? What they be saying after the barbecue, right? What they be saying after the barbecue. What they be saying about you after the barbecue. Pile number 3. We have the spine card here in the reverse. Okay. Okay, pile number 3. What I see here is like, I feel almost like what's being said about you at the barbecue is either like you don't look out for nobody, you don't be reaching out to nobody, almost like you keep to yourself, right? Like you're not really up on like what's going on I don't want to say like around you or in your vicinity, but just like in general, right? With like family members or whatever the case is. So maybe you just don't tune in a lot to like social media or on social media a lot or whatever the case is, right? But like what's being said about you is like, yeah, you're not really looking out for other people, right? But not like in a bad way where it's like, you're not looking out for people's well-being, but it's just like you're more concerned with like things that have to deal with yourself, right? We do have the facts card here in the reverse. So I feel like what's being said about you at the barbecue is like, I feel like it's a lot of, how do I explain this? What do they call it? Like, I don't want to say it's not predictions, but like perceptions of you, right? Perceptions. It's a lot of perceptions of you, which could or could not be true, right? With the facts card being the reverse, I'm going to say that they're not true, but it's like there's a lot of like people talking about what they feel like they know about you, but like, is it actually true though? Is the thing where it's like, I heard this, I heard that. I don't know if it's true, right? Like this is what I heard, but I don't know how much truth there is to it, right? Essentially is what was being said or talked about you at the barbecue, right? We do have the guidance card here in the upright. So with the guidance card in the upright, I do feel like, what's being talked about is like either you're paving the way or it's like you're some type of inspiration. Okay. So it's like you're paving the way to success or you're paving the way to show people how to do something. Or like you're even, like I said, providing guidance for people to either follow in your footsteps or, you're just kind of like showing them the way to either be like successful in something or some form, right? Like, you got those aunts and uncles, or maybe even those parents that are like, be more like so-and-so, they're doing great. They're doing this, they're doing that. We have the strength card, okay? And that's in the upright. So I feel like, what's being said about you at the barbecue is, people are talking about how strong you are, like how much heart you have is kind of more so what I'm hearing, right? Like how many times this person's been kicked while they were down and got back up. How many times this person has actually fallen and got back up, like this. I feel like the talk about you is like, there is, you might be, down and out for a minute, but like when you come back stronger, you come back harder each and every time. Okay. Like you come with more resources. And when I say resources, that's just like, you can see all the cars, the helicopters, there's more trucks there in the distance, right? So it's like you come strong, okay? You bring an army with you as far as your strength goes. Then we have the practice card here in the upright. So, what's being said about you at the barbecue is like, yeah, I feel like it's about like the time and effort you put into something, right? That's working out for you, right? So it's like you had to practice at it, you had to work at it, whatever the case is. So it's like you don't have any type of like overnight success. It's like this was done, in the hours where people sleep, and there's blood, sweat, and tears in this chocolate cake, right? With that being said, we have the depressed card, and that's in the reverse. So yeah, so what's being said about you is like either you're coming out of some type of depression, or it's like you just seem very happy, you seem very upbeat, right? Like you don't necessarily have a care in the world, you're just kind of doing you, right? We do have the foreign card here in the upright. With the foreign card here in the upright, now I'm seeing this as like either you talking about like traveling, trying things new. Maybe you have traveled to somewhere new or somewhere where just people have not been yet. And maybe that's just actually out of the country. A lot of people, at least here in the US, I cannot speak for everywhere, but like at least here in the US, people travel to like, all the other states that we have. But, very rarely do people actually travel outside of the country unless it's like Canada or Mexico, right? Like the two closest places. But I feel like this is more so either you have dreams to actually, fly across the big blue, to, a different country over there. Like you have those types of foreign plans, or you have already done those things. Okay. Also with the foreign too, this could be a mindset. Okay. Like your mindset is foreign because it is different than the generations before you. before your mind, before you, right? Before your mindset, right? So it's like everyone always thought you had to be this or be that or live your life this way or live your life that way. And then here you come, right? You're the black sheep. You're like, I'm going to live my life this way. And it's different, right? It's foreign. We have the children card here in the upright. With the children card here in the upright, I do feel like there's talk either about your children, right? Like how well they are raised. Because here in this card, like these are children, and if I remember correctly, this was either like a Boy Scout or like school or something like that. And it's like all these kids are knowledgeable in some way or some form, right? Whether it is, oh, excuse me. What is it about this pile? Maybe your allergies are acting up or something along that. I sneezed in the last reading. Pile number 3 is pile 2. Anyways, I don't want to dive too far into it, but maybe someone has allergies going on, or you sneeze a lot, allergic to stuff, whatever the case is. Anyways, excuse me. What I was saying here with the children card, yes. So I do believe like there's talk about your children, how well they behave, how well, how much they know, how well they're educated and things of these sort. But I also feel like this children card is also calling to you, where it's like, even though you have this much strength, pile number 3, you still have that child alive very much so inside of you. Okay. We have the date card here, and that's in the reverse. With the date card here in the reverse, I feel like with the date card in the reverse, either, now take how this resonates for you, pile number 3, but like either you're not interested in dating, or you're not dating at this point in time, or it's just like how to explain it? Like it's hard to lock you down, right? Not in the terms of like dating sense, but like in the way of like hang out, right? Like it's hard to schedule a date to like be around you, see you, hang out, do different things, okay? And maybe you're just not taking social calls at the moment. Nothing wrong with that. We do have the mystery card here in the reverse. With the mystery card in the reverse, I feel like this is that BS from the barbecue, right? Where people are talking like, oh, they think they're so special, and they think like, like you're the little mean girls group or whatever. You try to stick to yourself and be by yourself and not tell people your business, like you better than them. But I feel like this is where this mystery card is coming, where people are saying like, ain't nothing special about you, okay? Ain't nothing special about you. Which we know to be a lie, right? We know that to be a lie. We have the clairaudience card here in the upright. Yeah, so what people are talking about, and you know what, this came out in another reading too. And I feel like with this one, it's just like, you can see how she's just sitting there, right? So either people feel like, they're saying like, you were a great listener, you talk to people, you listen, you sat with them, whatever the case is, or you just kind of sat alone by yourself, or you just sat, kind of by yourself, minded your own business, and kind of like, like myself, people watch. I love to people watch. I don't know about y'all, but go to the club and just people watch. I tell you, you'll have to get someone that you can joke around with and have fun with, and go to like a sit down club or whatever the case is. Where I'm from, I like to go to the ones where it's like has the outside patios, and we just like watch people. Like, people are funny. People are hilarious. We have the confidence card here, or you just kind of like pick out people and you're like, quick story. Okay. I promise you, there's this club here where I'm from, and, there was this guy we call him look like Drake. And cause he would do everything to look like Drake. He cut his hair. I mean, he did look like a knockoff version, like a Temu or like an Alibaba version of Drake. But like, if Drake cut his hair, that's what he did. If Drake did, like, but we call him look like Drake. That's what I was saying. Like, people can be funny, okay? Anyways, with the confidence card here in the upright, people are saying about you, like, yeah, you're carrying yourself with a lot of confidence, and they can see it, right? Like, it's radiating off of you. They see how much confidence you have, and I feel like it's, all this confidence comes from the strength within you, right? We do have the threat card, and that's in the reverse. This also came out in another pile as well. So if you felt called, but with the threat card here in the reverse, yeah, I just feel like what people are saying about you, right, at the barbecue is like, you didn't come off in like in a threat manner, or like you're better than anyone or whatever. Like, you pretty much just, you didn't cause any problems, right? You came, you saw, you ate, you hung out, you talked to people, or you listened to people, whatever the case is, and you kept it pushing. We do have bottom of the deck, which is the pride card. So it's like, I mean, lovely card, right? Like, it's a perfect card. But yeah, I feel like they're just saying you have a lot of pride in yourself and what you stand for, you know, personality wise, you know, mentality wise, like you just hold yourself to a higher standard, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. We do have some bleed off energy, which is just like the BS. So it's like, yeah, what people are talking about is how you're not down for the BS, right? You don't want to have any part of it. We have some advice messages here for Spirit Guide Universe, whatever it is you believe in. We have be aware of your surroundings. Okay, but that's in the reverse. So I do feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying like, you're cool, you're chill. Even about these people who are talking that shit, right? Don't even worry about them, right? Even the people who are telling false facts about you, you know, or even the people who are mad that you're not depressed anymore, or, you know, feeling down anymore. Spirit Guide Universe is saying like, you're cool. Don't even sweat these people, right? Don't even worry about it. I don't want it, and that's in the reverse. With the I don't want it and that being in the reverse, we have the guidance, forence, and clairaudience. Okay, so you could be like neglecting guidance and neglecting messages sent to you through music, through audio, through handwritten, through lyrics, through whatever the case is, right? So like, look, you have a teleprompter here with lyrics on it, or writing, right, what the person's going to be saying. Then you have the clairaudience card in this row, right, where she's listening to music. And then it's like you have the foreign card here. So maybe you could have like a strong pull. I know in a couple of readings past, I've been talking about like how you need to go travel overseas. And I know some people are like, yo, where's the Spirit Guide Universe need to come up out of pocket, you know? And I feel you, okay? But I do feel like this, again, is giving a message of like, yeah, get out, experience something new, go overseas, go over whatever the case is. Like, you need to travel, to see something different. You need to be in a different realm or environment, okay? So you could be saying like, I don't want it, I don't have the means, I don't blah, blah, blah. You could actually be manifesting that in for your life, you know, just say like, I don't have this, I'm never going to get it, whatever, this will never happen. But I just feel like there's this message of like, yeah, you need to do some type of travel. I don't know what it is. Something foreign, okay? Face your fears here, and that's in the reverse as well. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is saying like, they don't really see like any fears that you're not going to do, right? Like, they could say face your fears, but like I feel like Spirit Guide Universe doesn't know what they are at this point, right? Because you've overcome so much. They're like, what could we throw at pile number 3 that A, they need to work on, and B, you know, that they haven't already dealt with? You know what I mean? You know, so I feel like you're just like trekking through like spiritual upgrades and evolvements, okay? We have calling me a liar, and that's in the upright, okay? Spirit Guide Universe saying, calling me a liar. I feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying like, look, whatever you practice, essentially, like whatever you sow is what you'll reap. Okay, so if you're being good to people, goodness will come back to you. If you're practicing to get better at something, that's the only way you're going to get better at it. Like, I just feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying like, look, you know the laws and the laws of physics, the laws of, you know, XYZ, right? We all know that practice makes perfect. We know we all, but however, at the same time, we know that like there is no such thing as perfect, right? So you know, I just feel like Spirit Guide Universe is just saying like, you already know the laws and the physics behind everything. So, you know, if you want something, you know exactly how to call it in for yourself, right? And then it's like, you calling me a liar is kind of what Spirit Guide Universe is saying, okay? We have you stupid, right? I feel like that's just also backing up that you called me a liar. Like, you're not stupid. And look at his face on this card too, right? Like, he's looking at you like, are you stupid? Are you stupid, child? Because he don't believe it either, okay? Be about your whining. Yeah, so I just feel like Spirit Guide, the universe is just saying, like, practice more to achieve whatever it is, or, like, again, water your goals, essentially. And I know that card's not out here, but that's kind of the energy I'm getting. This has been your read, pound number 3. Happy 4th of July. I'll see you later.